So the Quarry came out calling itself the successor to Until Dawn. I might as well talk about its competition. Until Dawn. So Until Dawn is a horror video game that came out in 2015, and from what the trailers told us, it is based on the 80s and 90s slasher horror movie genre. So that's what we really should expect by getting this game. At least that's what the trailers told us. As a matter of fact, this game has a whole lot more going on than just the slasher horror stuff. Granted, there is actually a moment in this game where you kind of forget about all of that and just deal with, the horror of the game. So when Until Dawn finally came out, I thought to myself, it looks okay. I don't know if I'm really going to buy it. That is until I watched a couple of game players on YouTube playing the very first episode, and I thought to myself, okay, that looks very interesting. I think I'm actually going to go out and get this. So I bought the game thinking I'm going to like it, but I had no idea that I was going to love this game. This game is insanely awesome. So in Until Dawn, you have 8 characters, and they are going up to this lodge owned by Josh's parents. Josh played by Rami Malek. If you don't know who Rami Malek is, then what rock are you living under? I mean, if you haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody, then you are missing out, my friend. But anyway, they are going up to this lodge, a place that they know. Just to remind you guys, usually when it comes to horror movies, when they're going to like a cabin in the woods or something, this is like the very first time they ever go to this place, and immediately you're thinking, yep, bad things are going to happen. But this is a place where these characters know. Like, for example, if you're at your house, or you're at a friend's house, or a family member's house, it's a place where you feel safe, because nothing bad ever happens when you go to one of those places. That's what I gotta say is definitely one of the creepy vibes that this game has to offer. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. He's bringing them all back to this lodge as a 1-year anniversary since his sister's disappearance. Yeah, bringing all your friends back to, have a party about your sister's disappearing. Did I remind you guys that this is based off a slasher horror movie? Because it still has the dialogue that slasher horror movies are famous for. The strange dialogue that nobody really talks this way type of stuff. So I found it really interesting that they put it in the game, because they're trying to tell us that this is where the game is going. So for the script and everything, it really does work. But one thing I found really cool is that when it comes to characters like talking to each other, there's like a couple of icons that pop up. One of them is being like for example, you're talking to Josh after he lost his sisters. You either can be sympathetic, or you just want to get this party going. So in other words, you get to choose where this dialogue is going to go. So in other words, the very beginning of this game is basically you choosing what these characters are going to be. Otherwise known as you're growing a bond with them, so that when bad things do happen later on in the game, you really want to see these characters survive. But anyway, it's not just Rami Malek who is the only known actor in this game. You also have Hayden Panettiere, who plays Sam, and I'm going to say Sam is like the main character of this game. She's the main girl that you definitely want to see get out of the situation. She also has some of the hardest moments in the game, but hey, I play him because I want to see her survive. She does a pretty good job in the game, and she has a good friendship status with everybody more or less the same, But yeah, that would be Sam's character. And also the second main character I would have to say would be Mike. Mike is played by Brett Dalton, and Brett Dalton, as we all know, is one of the most interesting characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Next to Coulson, respectfully. I still hate the fact that they got rid of him. And the other characters in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I really did not like. But anyway, these are characters that we mostly play throughout the entire game, but still, you have several other characters that you find interesting, like, for example, Chris and Ashley. Chris is more or less the class clown. He is the guy that wants to come up with the jokes and all such. He's the party dude. But we also know that he and Ashley have, like, that connection, and it really does work. The chemistry with all these characters really do show, and you just want to find a way to get these two together, but also to have them survive this entire night. So creating this bond and the chemistry that these characters have, you just feel more connected to these characters, so that when you're playing the game and when bad stuff start happening, you want to see these characters survive. And when I say survive, I mean the choices you make could either depend on whether they live or die, because there are some choices in this game where if you would choose this path, that character is probably going to die. And when these characters die, they stay dead. There is no pause button or replay button. No, when these characters die, they stay dead, and you're playing the rest of the game all the way through. You would have to play the game all over again in order to get a different ending. So I will say the game does have a great job on its replay value. But another thing that this game brings up, and that is the secrets in this game. You're going around certain areas. There's these open areas where you can go around, look for clues. Some clues are very easy to find. Other of them are nearly impossible, and some of them you're just thinking, how the heck did I miss that? But there are clues that lead up to really big mysteries. I had no idea that this game was so full of mysteries that I found absolutely interesting. Like, for example, some clues are for the twins and what happened to them that night. I mean, I already thought myself that I knew exactly what happened because I played the very beginning of the game. But there is a little bit more to that story than what meets the eye, and if you find all of the clues, you'll find out a whole lot more about what happened to them, what happened. Maybe I don't want to give away any spoilers, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But anyway, there's another mystery segment of clues that you can find, and that is what happened on this mountain 50 years ago. And the first time you find it, you're just thinking to yourself, why are we even bothering with this? I mean, it's not happening. Sorry about that. I mean, it's not happening tonight. This happened years ago. How does this have any connections today? As soon as you find more clues and the story presses on, you're thinking, nope, it's all a part of the story. And now this game is getting a whole lot more interesting. And when I say this game is based off the slasher horror movie genre, I really do mean that, because you do have this guy that is trying to catch them all and you know, try to kill them. I mean, when it comes to that, you know they're basing it off of Friday the 13th, Halloween, or even Saw. I did not expect the Saw moments in this game, but hey, whatever the game wants to do, they want to do. But there's another moment in in this game that I did not expect, and that is monsters. I had no idea that there was going to be monsters in this game, which brings out the horror in this game. And these monsters are called Wendigos. And if you don't know what a Wendigo is, you might want to do your little research first before you do, because I don't want to spoil that. But basically, if you watch Supernatural, you would know that guns against a Wendigo is completely useless. You cannot shoot a Wendigo. It's just going to make it mad. So you have these moments in the game where you have to hold the controller steady to basically be invisible to them. Because as Dr. Alan Grant once said, these species are based on movement. So if you move, they can see you. If you don't, they can't see you. And that's one of the great moments that Until Dawn really does bring in. Bringing in that moment where you have to hold the controller steady so that you are not seen or even heard. So yeah, it really does. So they really do bring all the controls into the game. And another thing that before I continue on any further, there is one character in this game that completely stole the show, and that is Peter Stormare as the Doctor. Every time that episode would end, it would end with him, and he is talking directly to the camera, and you don't know at the very beginning whether he is talking to you or he's talking to one of the characters that we are following around. But either way, his performance is just captivating. You just love his performance. If this video game was a movie, I would say he would have an Oscar nomination under his belt, because his performance was amazing. So that's what I got to say about that. Apart from you know, just the controls and the gameplay, I have expected that this would mostly be a movie and less gameplay, and whenever I find video games like that, they just absolutely annoy me, because I want to play a game. I don't want to watch a movie. I mean, granted, this video game does have movie moments, but it does have enough time for you to have gameplay to see where the story goes next. So usually the movie moments are just based moments. Nothing really interesting, nothing really big is going to happen in these moments. It only happens when you're the one that is behind the camera with the controls. And when also, I got to bring this up, the visual effects. All of the characters in this game look exactly like their actors. For most of this game, I actually forgot that I was actually playing a video game. I thought I was watching like a TV show. Nope, they look exactly like their actors. So bringing that in the game, that was incredible. But it's not just the characters that are amazing, but also the mountains in the distance, they looked good. The trees, the animals, the snowfall, all of it looked real. There were several moments in this game where I actually felt cold. I was just sitting on my couch in a warm house, and yet somehow I felt cold. That's how real it felt. And with that in there, it's just another reason why I really do enjoy this game. And with its replay value to have you replay, and it does feel like you have a different story every time, because there are some moments when you play for the first time, you think to yourself, okay, you go that way, that's how it was all going to end. But then you kind of think to yourself, okay, what if I choose this? What's going to happen if I choose this? And you choose it and you're like, oh my gosh, I completely missed out on something. So, in other words, its replay value is definitely there. So I will say, Until Dawn is amazing. Its visual effects, its characters, its gameplay, I love all of it. So I will say, Until Dawn is legendary. So guys, Until Dawn, have you played it, and what do you think of it? If I missed anything, comment them down below. Also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share my videos as much as possible so my channel can get big enough so I can challenge any gamer YouTuber out there to a Minecraft challenge. Also, I will play the video game The Quarry, and if I find it good, I will say it here on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video.